I do that?
Oh, great. Welcome back to the Retro Craptacular podcast, where each month we continue our search for the best bad movies on the planet Earth. I'm your host, Aaron, and I'm joined as always by Matt.
Hello.
So now I have to leave that in there. Otherwise people will be like, why are you talking like you're on Queer Eye?
Well, maybe listen back to it first. It might have been way too loud. All right. Yeah.
No, I can duck it. I can duck that part.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah. Anyways, how are you, man?
Oh yeah, like real tired.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you get tired and then you get overtired and then you get your second wind
Yeah.
where you feel okay again.
Yeah.
And then you get your second overtired where it's like time has no meaning and everything is just kind of funny.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No.
I'm sitting right in that sweet zone right now. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. No, I've been kind of like sick all week, and I'm just I've gotten over the hump, I think, and I'm hoping like tomorrow I'll just kind of be fine.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, last night I crashed at like 9:00.
Like a middle-aged.
No, yeah, like it was
turtle.
like around 8:30. I was just like, oh man, I have no energy at all right now. Like no energy. And I was like, I'll just lie in bed and watch some Community, and then I was just like out cold. And I woke up at like midnight, and there was a text from my girlfriend where she's like, "Hey, you didn't wish me a good night, so I'm wishing you a good night," because we're like we're still gross.
Yeah,
like we still do that.
Still just vile.
Ugh, it's
new relationships.
It's disgusting, but I love it.
I mean, that's totally fair.
I like
gross.
Yeah, no, it's
but also
fine.
good for you.
I just steer into it at this point.
Oh yes,
whatever.
You need to steer into it in order to make the turn.
Ooh, nice.
I learned that from Cars.
I like that from Cars.
From the movie Cars.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
And it's a good life lesson. Thank you, Disney Pixar.
So anyways, it was like 12:30, and I like look at my phone, and I was like, what? Oh my god. Because I realized I'd been asleep for like 4 hours already at this point.
Yep.
And
then what?
And then proceeded to sleep for another 6 hours.
Beautiful. That's what you need when you're sick, man. Lots of sleep, lots of food, lots of liquids.
And I texted her in the morning, and I was like, I'm still alive, but barely.
Yeah. Ugh.
And then I dragged my ass to work, and I was the first one to work.
Yeah. Good for you.
Yeah, and I lived the farthest away.
Fuck everyone else at your job.
Yeah.
Except one guy. Should we say his name? He's his name.
Whatever. He's not gonna listen.
We'll call him Special K.
Special K. Good dude.
If you're listening, Special K, I'm sorry for the nickname I just gave you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a bad one.
You know who you are, though.
And you are special.
Yeah. So have you seen anything recently that you feel is worth talking about?
Well, I mean, it's if you haven't seen it, it might be hard to even describe. But I did start watching the Netflix anthology show Love, Death, and Robots.
I saw the trailer for it. It's like I want to watch it, but I just haven't been in a mindset where I've been like cognizant enough to watch it yet.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, like
because I feel like it's one where I'm like I should actually pay attention to this because I'm sure it's really cool.
There's a lot of weird,
but they're short,
shit,
right?
Oh yeah, like I think the longest one so far has been like 15 minutes.
Yeah, cool.
Most of them are around the 10-minute mark. Yeah, I haven't seen all of them yet, but watched a lot of them. Is this the kind of thing where like I'll sit down with my wife to watch one, and then we'll watch like 5.
Yeah,
because they are so short, but then also like, yeah, a lot of them are like weirdly compelling or interesting. Some of them are just dumb, and then some of them are just so dumb that they're hilarious.
The trailer for it was like 30 seconds long, and it was just like super rapid fire.
Yeah, just smattering of shots and different animations.
Yeah, and I was like, holy shit, this looks cool. I gotta check this out.
There's some really cool shit in there, yeah.
Yeah. So you saw that. I saw Captain Marvel.
Yes, I've heard good things.
Is pretty solid, I would say.
I do really want to see that.
I was waiting for this movie since like 2015. I think it got pushed back twice since they announced it. Like it first got pushed back like from when Spider-Man Homecoming was supposed to
Yeah,
When that
wow,
got
I totally
announced,
forgot
then
about
that
that.
bumped everything, and then something else bumped everything back again.
Weird.
Um, but so it got literally pushed back. I think it's supposed to come out like 2 years ago, like 2017
Sheesh.
was when it was supposed to come out. Then it got pushed back to now.
But it was worth the wait?
It was worth the wait. It was really good. I
Mm.
am a huge fan of that character from the comics. It was one of the only books that I've ever actually subscribed to, like
Oh,
in my life. Like I had a pull list at the comic book store, which I still have, by the way.
you
It's
do?
been months. The dude literally called me the other week and was like, "Hey, do
Oh.
you still want these?" And I'm like, "Ha ha ha ha!" I lied. I told him I was out of the country. Like
I'm in Mexico.
I was like, I've been in England for the last couple months. Sorry, I just got back. I've been meaning to come pick those up.
But also, that doesn't answer his question.
No, I do. Yeah, I don't really want them actually. Probably.
Do you want these? I've been in England. But you're back now? Yeah. Do you want these?
Like, well, no, I was just like, oh shit, sorry, man. Yeah, I'll come get them. I've been out of the country for the last couple months. He's like, oh, where you been? And I was like, oh, fuck. England. It was like the least interesting place I could think of.
What? It depends where you go.
Well, no, but in terms of like,
Oh, in terms of like
like
exotic.
like
'Cause
getting
it's the
questions.
opposite of exotic.
Because if I was like, oh yeah, I was in Vanuatu, they'd be like, where the fuck is that? And I'd be like,
Did you just make that place up?
I don't know. I think it's near like Samoa, but again, don't know. So yeah, that happened to me. So anyways, so that was one of the few books that I was actually like subscribing to at one point was
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. For about 2 years, I subscribed to it when Kelly Sue DeConnick was writing it, and that era sort of inspired a lot of this movie. So,
Ooh.
highly recommend checking out those books if you are interested in this character at all. If you saw the movie and you're like, oh, I want to learn more, Kelly Sue DeConnick run on Captain Marvel is fantastic.
Now, is it true that Captain Marvel also used to be the name that Shazam went by?
Yes. So Shazam, which looks awesome, right?
It does.
So good.
Like,
I'm so pumped for that movie.
I mean, Zachary Levi.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
always want more of him in my life. Let's be real.
For sure. For sure.
Born with it.
He could. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
I'd chuck that guy up, man.
Because of Chuck.
Because of Chuck.
Yeah.
Oh, we are both way past our prime right now.
I want to rewatch Chuck.
I never finished it actually. I think I got to like season. I watched the first 2 seasons.
I can't remember if I ever finished it either, but there was a character who just reminded me so much of my brother. Captain Awesome. I was like, that's
yes,
that's
yes,
my brother.
That is your brother, the one that I like.
Yeah. Neither of them are gonna listen to this, so it's
Great.
fine.
Yeah.
And he's even a doctor now. When I was watching Chuck, my brother
perfect.
wasn't a doctor, and now he is a doctor.
And he's really
Shit.
handsome
And very
and
fit.
Yeah,
Fit as a boss.
totally. Yeah, awesome. That's great. I love it. So, anyways, yes. So Captain Marvel was the name of Shazam, but then there was some sort of legal issue with Marvel Comics, and that kind of got sorted out, and that's why now he's referred to as Shazam instead of Captain Marvel,
which is such a choice name.
But and then Captain Marvel has been several characters in the Marvel universe as well, because originally it was a Kree named Marvel.
Oh,
2 words, because they did come up with like, why is he called Captain Marvel, right? You got to come up with a name for it.
Of course.
So he was Marvel, and then Carol Danvers was Miss Marvel, and she like named herself after him, because he was kind of like her mentor kind of thing. And then when she became Captain Marvel, like she took on the Captain Marvel moniker from him. And they kind of dance around it in the new movie. In fact, I don't know if they ever say Captain Marvel.
Oh no, there's no obligatory.
No,
drop the title of the film.
No, unfortunately not.
But it's obligatory.
I know.
Yeah.
There is a bit at the end where like Samuel L. Jackson says that Marvel sounds like Marvel, like the Marvelettes, and then sings "Please, Mr. Postman," which is
All right.
so worth it for that scene alone.
Yeah, that sounds great.
That was good. But yeah, so those are kind of, we can't really get into it because you haven't seen it, and I don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I don't want to spoil it for the listeners, but there were,
Maybe we'll spoil it for everyone next month after I've seen it.
yes, rotate phone. There we go. There were a bunch of trailers that came out, which we just watched a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Let's start with the most important one: Stranger Things season 3.
It's
coming back!
It's honestly
So excited.
one of my favorite shows of all time. I think it
100%.
like I mean it's always hard to say what your favorite is, but like that's the one of the only shows where I'm like it might actually just be number 1.
Yeah,
If it's not
close.
number 1, it must be number 2.
It's up there for me, like with like when I think of like my all-time favorite shows: Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Firefly,
Oh, Firefly's choice.
um,
Something else by Joss Whedon.
no, not really. Those are kind of the two
Yeah, I
good
know.
ones.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, like I love Game of Thrones. I'm curious to see if Game of Thrones will like stick around with me after
Like if it's gonna
I'm-
hang out with you
I'm
and
done.
like
I
what once the relationship is past the honeymoon phase, if they're still gonna like make an effort.
a little bit, because I'm just like,
Still gonna like walk you to your car.
I don't know how rewatchable it is because I still haven't rewatched it.
Like none of it?
None of it.
Oh.
And I am going to try and rewatch the next season or the last season before the next one comes out. But yeah, I don't know. But like what are other shows that I love? Like The Office, Community. Those are like my comedy jams, right? Like
Corner gas.
Corner Gas, yeah, Canadian icon Corner
Oh.
Gas.
Stands the test of time. So far.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, those are kind of like my all time like favorite shows, and I would easily I think put Stranger Things in there because I have rewatched it. Like I've seen before season 2 came out, I rewatched season 1, and that was the
Same
third
season.
time that I had seen season 1.
Me too. Exactly yeah.
And then I've rewatched season 2 once. So I've seen season 2 twice. So I'm gonna rewatch season 1 and 2 because my girlfriend hasn't seen any of it.
Oh yes.
So I'm so excited to show
Getting
her
to watch it with someone who's
for the
never
first
seen
time.
it. Oh.
Yeah, so that's really exciting.
And then they're gonna be like, "What? But this thing? Does that mean this?" And you'll be like,
it's not-
"I don't know."
It's not scary, right? Like it's not super scary. Like would you?
I mean, it kind of is.
It kind of.
I mean,
is.
like you have a lower bar for this,
Yeah, my bar.
or sorry, higher bar,
my bar is way high.
whereas mine is like kind of low. But to me, Stranger Things has like 3 different kinds of movies seamlessly blended into one, and one of those is a horror.
Yeah, no, it definitely has like horror elements to it. I don't know. She doesn't like horror things, so.
Well, no, it's just so beautiful and so compelling that
But I think
the
there's
horror is not at the forefront.
I think there's enough going on.
But there's
there
enough shit where I mean, like episode 1,
Yeah.
there's like some scary ass shit goes on.
Yeah.
Absolutely, like right
That's
away.
true.
It sets the tone as like this is fucking creepy.
Yeah.
But then the story unfolds in such a magnificent way after that. So yeah. Worth it.
Yeah. I think she'll watch it.
She has to.
Yeah, she has to. She has no choice. So yeah, that trailer just it didn't. I only watched it once, and I think that's all I need
Yeah, same.
out of it.
Just like the appetite is wet.
Yeah,
I don't need to break it down and pick apart things.
Yeah, the only thing I remember is the new monster showing up at the end.
Yep.
And I remember the little tag at the very end of the trailer with Dustin and Steve.
Oh yeah.
She's like, "How many kids do you hang out with?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Looks
that
hilarious.
was the best part of season 2.
Oh yes.
Was the whole Dustin and Steve friendship episode or a couple of episodes there.
Yeah,
that was my
Their
favorite
arc
thing.
together is so amazing.
Oh,
It's so funny and so beautiful
oh yeah,
because it has like those bromance elements that are so wonderful to watch, but it's also very much a mentorship.
yeah. Farrah Fawcett hairspray.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, and then when he comes to the dance, looking
yeah,
all decked out, and he's like, like self-conscious about it and shit, but he looks so damn fine.
yeah. Oh, I remember Dustin
Oh,
spraying. Um, what's the black kid's name again?
honestly, I don't remember any other names.
Well, there's Will,
Yes, that's right.
Dustin, Will,
Mm,
11.
well, that one was easy. Yeah.
What's the mate?
Mike?
Mike.
Is it Mike?
Mike. Yeah.
Uh,
Lucas.
Lucas.
I
That sounds
think.
about right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Clearly, we need to rewatch it.
Yeah, when he's spraying him in the face after they surprise him at the beginning
Oh,
of the trailer.
yeah.
That was pretty good too. So, anyways,
Also,
that's
like, totally fair
yeah,
because he's seen some shit.
yeah.
Like, why would he not be scared of that?
So that was awesome.
Kind of a terrible prank.
We also just watched the trailer for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
Yes.
which is kind of just a teaser trailer.
Mm-hmm. But I
But
mean, looks hilarious.
yeah, I have no idea what kind of movie it is. I've heard it's supposed to involve Charles Manson
Oh,
and the Manson family at some point.
all right.
Because Margot Robbie is playing Sharon Tate, who is Roman Polanski's wife, who was murdered by the Manson family.
Oh.
So, yeah,
All right.
but yeah, just the fact that it's not Bruce Willis, Brad Pitt, Brad Pitt and Tarantino back together again has got
Yes.
me just
And of course,
so
I got
so
no
stoked.
problem with some more Leo
And
in
Leo
there.
as
You're
well,
like,
yeah,
come on.
yeah, because they've only done the one together, right? Just
Has it only been the one?
I think so.
You thinking of Django?
Django.
Yeah.
And Brad Pitt's only been in Inglourious Bastards, I think. Yeah. So those two are back
Huh.
together, so that's good. Yeah, no, I'm fucking stoked for this, man. Like
Yeah, it looks great.
I didn't like the Hateful Eight really at all.
Still haven't seen it.
But I am fully on board for this. And it's kind of just a teaser trailer, right? Like they don't really
Yeah,
show
we
you what's
don't know
going on.
what it's gonna be like, but we're just
The guy doing
excited.
the Bruce Lee impression is pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Yeah. He really nails Bruce Lee's like weird diction that he has, you know.
Yeah, his acting English.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because it's not like your stereotypical like Chinese American kind of accent. He has like this like very like well formed vowel sounds, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what the heck are you doing? So that was awesome. Do you want to talk about Aladdin?
Yes,
This is
Aladdin.
the one I'm curious to get your thoughts on, because you, out of the two of us, you are the big Disney fan in terms of like classic
love classic
animated
Disney. Absolutely, have lots of them still on VHS.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had literal chills when I was watching that
Good.
trailer.
All right.
And was like, I am so on board for this movie.
Cool.
When I
Okay.
first heard about it, I was like, nah, I don't want it, don't need it. And like, it's so far, I don't know, the whole live action remakes have been kind of
Up in the, I think the only one I've seen is Jungle Book.
That's the only one you've seen?
Yeah, if you count Alice in Wonderland. I don't know if you
I
do.
don't really.
Kind of.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't part of this thing that's
No.
happening.
It
feels like.
In a way, it kind of started this.
It feels like a predecessor in that
but
way. Though.
Yeah, because it ends way different.
Yes.
It has the weird. She
Yeah,
puts on armor and fights it.
They like incorporated the poem
Yeah.
in with the book, which is anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed most of the Jungle Book, but then just like for most of the music, I was like, I just really prefer the original. I'd rather go watch the cartoon.
Yeah. Okay.
But for this, like, from the music we heard, it was all staying very true to what the music already
Mhm.
was, and just bringing it into our current,
Yeah.
decade or whatever. Like it just
Yeah.
sounds more present, and I think that is kind of what the point should be, is that they're making these movies now more accessible to kids who don't want to watch old cartoons.
Yeah. So Aladdin is one of the few Disney movies that I like did watch a lot as a kid.
Oh yeah,
And is one of the ones that I'd still like would go back to
because it's so good.
because it's really good.
Yes.
And I remember watching the first teaser trailer, where like they didn't show any of the genie, they didn't show Princess Jasmine, they just showed like Iago flying up to the cave, and then there was like one shot of Aladdin reaching for the lamp, and then like
Mm-hmm.
when the words kind of started coming up on screen like from Disney and blah blah blah, the score that was behind it was dun dun dun. And I was like, oh my god, like that, the like super big orchestral version of Never Had a Friend Like Me
Yeah.
was like, that got me pumped in a way that
Yeah.
I was not expecting. So I'm like
Yeah.
super looking forward to this, I think. And like I was on board with Will Smith as the genie like from the get-go.
Yeah.
Cuz they're like, well, like it's like no one could ever do, Robin Williams again. And I'm like, that's true. They should not try and get someone to do Robin Williams again. And I was
They
thinking
should
like
reinvent the
if you were going to
character.
hire like a comedian to do it, like I'm like Zach Galifianakis could be funny as the genie, but like in a weird can't be
Wouldn't
in a
really
Disney movie way.
Yeah, like no, that doesn't sound
Because all the
right.
funny stuff he's going to come up with, you cannot put in a PG or PG-13
Absolutely not.
Disney film,
Not
right? And
not a
like
chance.
John Mulaney's just too, you know,
Awkward
yeah,
in a
um,
wonderful way. He's hilarious,
yeah,
but also
neurotic.
he does not have the presence that a genie would need.
Yeah, but I'm like, Will Smith just like can bleed charisma when he needs to.
Yep.
Like when he's not trying to win an Oscar, he's great
Yep.
because he's Will Smith and he knows how to be Will Smith. I'm like,
This is true.
yeah, and I'm like, the genie just needs to be just a big personality, and Will Smith is a big personality, and so
Should work out great.
yeah, it should be great. And so far from the trailer,
Yeah, it looks fun.
yeah, yeah, good. I'm glad that you're on board because um, yeah, I like I said, I'm kind of indifferent to the whole like Disney live action remake thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if one interests me, I'll go see it. I'm kind of curious about The Lion King, but I also kind of don't want it at all.
Yeah, that one. I'm.
You feel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I first heard that they were making a live action Lion King movie, I thought that they were doing a film adaptation of the Broadway play.
Yeah, that's
Which,
dumb.
like, I was like, oh, how? Well, that sounds interesting.
No.
But then it was all CGI, and I was like, oh, well, that actually weirdly sounds less interesting now. Like, I would
Yeah.
rather see what they try to do with the. Anyway, yeah, no,
Yeah.
Why? Yeah, I don't. Again, trying to bring it into the new generation,
Yeah.
I think, is the point. But yeah, I hope that the score, they remain as true to the score in Aladdin as what the trailer
Yeah.
depicts, because Alan Menken wrote a great freaking score, the songs at least.
I know that they're adding one song.
I've been curious about that. I was wondering whether or not they would add in a Jasmine song.
They're adding in a Jasmine
Okay,
song.
yeah. That
That has been
tracks. Yeah.
confirmed. And I can't remember if Lin-Manuel Miranda is attached to do the music for this or not. Because I know he did
I
Mary
mean,
Poppins.
I wouldn't hate that.
No, not at all. I know he did Mary Poppins Returns.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. Did you ever see that?
I did. I saw it in theaters.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Was it any good?
It's a lot of fun.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I mean, like the way it dealt with issues was completely different from the original Mary Poppins, because it was a completely different time.
Nice.
But a lot of the spirit and the whimsy mixed with like hard truths about life,
Yeah.
like, was there. And I was like, this is really enjoyable. Like, I'm totally on board.
Cool. Yeah. I think I'll probably wait till it's on. Well, I guess they'll probably hold it to the Disney streaming service at this point.
Probably,
But
yeah.
I'm gonna get that because I want to watch the Star Wars shows.
Oh yeah,
So
of course. So I'm just gonna watch it with you.
yeah, exactly. All right. So there's two kind of cool. Well, no, one really cool and one very horrible thing. Which one do you want to do? Let's do cool first.
Yeah, let's do
right?
cool first.
All
Let's
right,
end
cool.
on a low note.
All right. That's what this show's all about.
It really is, isn't it?
The reason we're talking about this
we-
so long is because we don't really have a lot of movie to talk about.
Yeah, I mean,
Ugh.
anyway,
Yeah,
we'll get to
alright.
we'll get to that. Yeah.
Okay. So for the 40th anniversary of Alien, which is this year, obviously there's no new Alien movie coming out because Ridley Scott kind of ran that franchise into the ground with his prequel nonsense. Even though I kind of like those movies, I don't know.
They're interesting to say the
I
least.
don't know. All right. Yes, they are. To say the literal least.
Yes.
They are interesting.
One word.
But they're I can't remember if it's 6 or 8 short films
I think it was 6.
coming out. I think it is 6 as well. Coming out. They're going to be released online on IGN starting at the end of this month. It'll be like one a week, I think. Yeah, I guess like Fox put out at some point a call for pitches, which I totally missed. I thought that would have been in the news, but
Yeah, I didn't hear
maybe
anything
it
about
wasn't like a widely like open call. Maybe it was like a limited call, like through agents or something like that.
That would make sense.
Because and for pitches for short films set in the Alien universe, and then they got to they provided a lot of like assets to the productions, like physical props and digital assets as well.
Oh.
Which is super cool.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming also provided budget.
Well, I should hope so.
Yeah. I yeah. Fairly like almost 100% they would have done that. I don't know how you
It's
get
like that,
around it
it's
otherwise.
like that toilet cleaner where it's like 99.999%
of germs. Yeah.
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 It's like almost definitely.
Yeah. So it could have been like there's ways they could have gone around it, but I think you want to hold a certain level of quality across the board on all the films, so you're gonna pay for it.
Yeah. Oh bless you. Oh bless you.
So yeah, those are coming out, and that's pretty cool actually.
Yeah,
Like,
it's super interesting.
It's a really cool idea, I think, to like kind of let up and coming filmmakers play in that like high budget, high concept world in a very low risk way.
Yeah, definitely. And like depending on how it goes too, it kind of has the possibility of rejuvenating that franchise.
Yeah, totally. Because I think there's still like I still love the first 2 Alien movies.
Absolutely, yeah.
The third one I really like the assembly cut of.
Yeah.
I think it's actually it's pretty decent. And like I said, Prometheus and Alien Covenant were interesting.
Yep, to say the least.
So yeah, I think there's still cool stuff you could do there. The biggest piss off for me was this Doom Annihilation trailer.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, bud. What was that?
Wow. Why?
What actually was that?
This is what it was.
It looked like a prank.
I think this was a we need to hold on to the rights kind of deal.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, because like, although I don't know how they still have the rights, because like that movie with The Rock came out in like 2005 or 2006.
Feels like a long time ago.
Did you ever see that?
No.
Holy fuck, it's bad.
I believe it.
It's like very of the Resident Evil era.
Oh yeah.
Like the Resident Evil video game adaptation shooter action movie era.
Yeah, big time.
It's fucking terrible. This looks so much worse.
Yeah, like surprisingly. Like
I don't know. It's released direct to video.
Which, does that happen very often these days?
No. Like, I assume, like, everyone's been saying direct to video. I would assume that would mean streaming, but this looks worse than, like, anything that's shown up on any streaming service recently. Like,
Worse than anything that's shown up on any streaming service.
yeah.
That's, like, there's a large pool of shit, even
Oh, I know.
like, yeah.
Yeah, I can't, unless it's, like, just to hold on to the rights. Like, like Fantastic Four.
Like Fantastic Four was the first thing I
They
thought
need
of.
to keep making movies in order to keep the rights, right? Although now Disney has them back anyway, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, I just I can't figure out why they would do it, other than to just hang on to the right, and why they would do it so bad. Like, it seems like not, like they're not even gonna try. Like, who is this for? I can't.
It's for you, Aaron. It's just for you.
Like, Bethesda disowned it on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Someone tweeted them like, "Hey, I want to get your thoughts on the trailer for this new Doom Annihilation," and they retweeted his tweet with the and then added, like, above it, "We had no part in this."
Yeah.
And this is from, like, the official Doom game Twitter account.
Yeah, that's
Like, in
so
a world
good.
where we had the best Doom game possible, like 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
or 3 years ago, I guess. Yeah, 3 years ago technically.
Yeah.
There's a new one coming out this year. Like, how did you fuck this up so bad? Like, have you heard my pitch for a Doom movie?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Because, like, I wrote this. Well, you've read the script that I wrote, not for a Doom movie, but I wrote this short film a couple years ago called, or about a year ago, I guess, called We Live in the Dark, which is like this
Yeah.
satirical mockumentary about a guy who starts a demon worshipping death cult in order to get out of paying taxes.
Yep.
And it's kind of like a take on, like, it's a take on organized religion, but it's also a take on, like, kind of like the Trump era.
Yeah.
It's
a very dry humor.
Yeah, it's very dry. It's like, it's in the world of the film, all the characters take everything 100% seriously.
Yeah.
But as the audience, you can't take it seriously because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's the tone that I think you need to do a Doom movie with. Like, it's about a corporation opening a portal to hell in order to, like, provide clean energy.
Yeah.
They're mining hell energy.
Yeah, they are.
And slowly going insane from being exposed to hell.
I can't even keep a straight face.
And like,
it doesn't make any sense.
The slogan in the game is, for the company Ardent Energy, is "The road to hell is paved by ardent energy." Like, it's like, what the fuck? There's signs in that game saying, like, "Warning, demonic invasion in progress." Like,
yep.
Like everyone knows. It's just,
yep.
Like, and everyone accepts it. But in the game, you take it 100% seriously. So my pitch for a Doom movie is, it needs to be Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
Meets Aliens.
Yes.
With just a hint of Judge Dredd.
Oh, yeah. No.
The Carl Urban one, not the Stallone one.
Yeah. I assumed.
Because, like, what makes Dredd so good is, again, it's 100%. That dude is, like, 100% serious all the time about everything.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not told from his perspective. It's told from the perspective of his partner, right? And so, like, you need to make the Doomslayer character a secondary character.
That makes sense.
And so, like, my pitch would be, like, there's a group of interns that work for this company. They find this Doomslayer sarcophagus in hell and they pull it out. And then when shit starts going crazy, everyone dies except for them. And they're, like, in their early 20s. So yeah, it's Cabin in the Woods meets Aliens with a hint of Judge Dredd and the IT crowd mixed in.
Yes.
That's how you make a good Doom movie.
Yes, with Chris O'Dowd.
With Chris O'Dowd. And the other guy, whose name is ridiculous and I can't remember it.
Like his real name?
Yeah.
I can't remember his real name. Shoot.
Yeah. I'm gonna casually look it up here, but like I don't think it's that hard. Why?
Well, I mean, for all we know, this shit movie's gonna come out and it will be so bad that it's funny. Maybe it'll be a modern craptacular. We just don't know yet.
Richard Ayoade. Ayoade? Ayoade. Ayoade. Ayoade?
Ayoa.
Ade.
Ayode.
Iode. Richard Iode? Yeah, sure. Anyways. That's my pitch for a Doom movie. Put those two guys in it. I don't know.
Hello,
Yeah.
IT.
Yeah, but it's like, oh, I'm sorry, we're having a demonic invasion at the moment. Can you call back? Like that kind of thing, right? Like there should be signs where it's like, sign up for, human sacrifice department needs specimens for next week's harbinger summoning. Can you sign up?
Yeah.
Apply within.
Yes.
Like,
yeah, totally.
yeah, that's how you make a fucking Doom movie, not whatever the fuck this is. All right, so should we talk about the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's probably about.
Let's
that
get
time.
into it.
Let's get into it. All right. Yeah. So since it's March and we wanted to celebrate female empowerment
Yes.
because of International Women's Day, which was like way at the beginning of the month, we missed it by so much.
Yeah. But,
anyways,
I mean, we can still honor it,
celebrating, and you know what? In fact, maybe we're better feminists because we're celebrating it. Also, not on that day. We're giving them 2 days.
I mean, more is better. Let's just go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go with that.
Anyways, we watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I just met this girl named Buffy. I'm Pike.
Pike isn't a name, it's a fish.
I liked her even though she seemed kind of flaky. But as it turns out...
You have been chosen, Buffy,
To do what?
to stop the vampires.
Does Elvis talk to you?
When things started getting weird around here. Are we having a nightmare?
You threw a knife at my head.
And you caught it.
She was the one person I could really count on. Kill him a lot.
Hi.
Hi. What are you doing here?
What am I doing here? I'm saving your butt. That is a bad guy. Can we go, please?
The Slayer is unmasked. Let's finish it.
I think this relationship has potential.
Hi. How's it going?
You're obviously having a bad hair day.
If she can just get rid of those other guys in her life. Stab him in the heart!
Kristy Swanson,
I am so sure.
Donald Sutherland, Paul Rubens, with Rutger Hauer and Luke Perry.
Buffy, you're not like other girls.
Yes, I am.
Buffy, the Vampire Slayer.
I didn't even break a nail.
Directed by Fran Rubel-Kazooie.
Oh, that 92 classic.
Matt, how did you feel about this?
It was kind of great.
It was kind of great, right?
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I love the TV show.
Yeah, the TV show I just don't know that well. I've only seen a few episodes scattered throughout the series.
It is definitely one of my all-time favorite shows. We talked about earlier. But this is not like that.
Oh no.
But in a
This
way,
is laughable. Like,
but still has some of that like voice to it, which is weird. I mean, it makes sense because it's written by Joss Whedon,
yeah,
and I feel like it would have been a lot better if it was also directed by Joss Whedon.
probably.
I mean, even as a first-time director, I feel like he probably would have done a better job than whoever directed this.
Very likely, yeah.
Whose name I forgot. I think it's Fran something.
Good name.
Yeah. So right off the bat, you can kind of tell it's a Joss Whedon movie because the dialogue is insane.
Yes.
Um,
And especially just like 90s dialogue.
yeah, it's like
Written by Joss
super
Whedon.
sharp, quippy. Like everyone's one-upping each other with in terms of like witty dialogue.
Yeah.
And
Pretty great.
yeah, but it like it's so weird because like watching the show, Buffy is like a pretty like smart character, and then, like at the beginning of this movie, she is so basic
Oh yeah.
and so dumb.
She and her three friends
Yeah.
are all very vapid high school girls.
And I mean, like she has an arc,
Absolutely, yeah.
definitely, right? So, and this is kind of the show is kind of a quasi sequel to this show.
To this
Or
movie.
to this movie, sorry, a little bit. Like they're it's not 100% canon, but like there's things about like in the first episode or something, like someone talking about rumors about how Buffy got kicked out of her old school because she burned down the gym.
Oh really?
And then she says, well, yes, I did, but that's because it was full of vampires at the time. And so it's like,
And this movie
ends
in a big brawl in the gym.
yeah, but she doesn't set it on fire, right?
No.
But there is like a big brawl at the school dance in the gym with vampires. So it's kind of like you could take it as like more or less canon, I think.
It's more of like a winking at this movie.
Yeah. Because there's differences too. Like in this one, the vampires can fly, and in this
Which is
in the
ridiculous.
show they can't.
Makes more sense.
And like in the show, when you stab them with stakes, they turn into dust. And this one, they just die.
Take forever to die in some
Yeah.
cases. We'll get to that.
So yeah, the little
Ugh.
differences were strange, but overall it was kind of you could tell like it was an evolution
Yeah.
into the show, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah, you'd never seen this before, right?
No, I'd
Yeah.
never seen this movie.
I had seen it once, but I had never I'd forgotten most of it. Because I felt no desire to ever watch it again.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Should we kind of get into it? I have so many like technical notes that I have written
Yeah,
down, and
like-
not a lot about plot.
Technically, this was a very bad movie.
Yeah.
I don't
This
even.
is what I wrote. I said it's like it was made by someone who had never seen a movie, but had been told about movies.
Oh,
Like the montage scene, like the training montage. It's like someone had told them about a training montage in a movie. It's like, yeah, so like you put some music under it and it's like kind of upbeat, and then you just show a bunch of different scenes really fast of them like working out.
yeah. That sounds like a training montage.
Yeah. But that's not what we got.
Not quite. No. Like
It-
the music was like a rock love ballad
Mhm,
rather than,
mhm.
and this was the 90s. Like there could have been some
Yeah.
intense workout music, but
For sure. Yeah.
but no, it was like
Yeah.
dramatic.
Dramatic love ballad with her working out with Donald Sutherland.
Yeah.
So like that was weird. All of the music cues in this are way off.
Oh boy.
Like
yeah.
when there should be, like during a fight scene, it seems like all the music drops out during every fight scene. And that's when you
Yeah.
should have some music build up
Mm-hmm.
to like,
Enhance the scene.
enhance the scene, like, maybe create some tension, but like it gets just really awkward because all of a sudden all the music drops out and it's like uncomfortably quiet. And
Which, like, to be
even-
fair, can be done well. There are definitely movies
Sure.
where the music drops out during a fight, but the fight is like so guttural and like real
Yeah.
and it's in your face that it really takes everything. But like,
that's not
wow,
this.
the fight scenes in this movie were
No, yeah.
so rotten.
They were total garbage.
Very
And
slow movements,
yeah, and
very unrealistic
even like the
attacks.
final like fight with Rutger Hauer is just like so awkward and
Yeah.
slow, and like there's no like rising action. It just kind of happens and then he's
And then it
dead.
ends. Yeah.
Like,
That's the end of this movie is lacking supremely, but hey, we got the whole middle part still,
yeah.
which
Oh, the whole middle part was the
full
best.
full of good lines and like big names,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is weird.
Let's get into that. So, the story is, as I'm sure you probably know if you watch the show or if you're somewhat familiar with it, Buffy's a high school cheerleader who one day is told by an old man that she is the chosen one, the vampire slayer, and that she has to defeat the vampires, and
Yep.
he is her watcher and he will train her. And
That's pretty much exactly how it's explained to Buffy in the movie.
yeah,
Oh, you're the chosen one. Come with me to a graveyard.
and then it cuts to her
Not weird at
walking through a
all.
graveyard, and she's like, I can't believe I'm walking through a graveyard with a strange old man on a school night.
Yeah, on a school night. That's
Yeah.
right. Oh, it's good.
Oh, it's good. It's like, it obviously has that Joss Whedon punchy dialogue, but
Yeah,
there's
the dialogue is cheeky. I love it.
there's only a few people that know how to deliver it. Kristy Swanson does a pretty good job of it.
True.
Luke Perry, I think, does the best job of it.
Yeah.
Donald Sutherland is Donald Sutherland and therefore amazing.
Yeah.
He knows what movie he's in, and so do the other two.
Mm-hmm.
And so does the basketball coach.
Oh,
Weirdly enough, this like one
Yeah.
like minor role who's in like 2 scenes, but has this super weird dialogue.
Yep.
Like, what do we say when we're on the court? I am a person and I have a right to the ball.
Yeah, he's like this.
So go out there and get it.
Like, he doesn't like look like a hippie or anything, but he has
Yeah.
this very like love everyone, inclusive spirit, and just like a few lines at the beginning of scenes to deliver, and like
Yeah.
none of the students like him.
Well, like
It seems.
I wondered if he was supposed to be like a gay stereotype, maybe.
Oh, I
he
didn't catch that, but
No,
I
I mean, I
don't know.
don't think he was, but he did have kind of that way of talking a little bit.
Oh, like that stereotypical like lilt.
Yeah, like a
His
little bit
voice.
more of like an effeminate kind of like, okay, I'm a person and I have a right to the ball, like
A little bit, yeah.
gay sass kind of, but not enough that I was like, oh, okay, that's the stereotype that he is. So I couldn't figure out what he was, but whatever he was,
It was kind of golden.
the dude nailed it.
Yeah.
It was, so like those are the 4 people that get what movie they're in. Everyone else, ugh.
Yeah, is either trying too hard or not trying at all.
Yeah, like Hilary Swank is one of her group of friends.
Yeah. One of her besties.
Yeah, so like they basically just have to deliver like basic bitch dialogue, and they do okay at it. Her boyfriend and his friend are terrible.
Oh my gosh. Atrocious.
What was that? They just end this one scene and it's super awkward because again, editing. We're like,
Oh shit, yeah, what was that line? Like let's rock out or something like that?
let's roll out, and he's like, yes, and then
And they high five and walk out.
high five and walk out,
And then hard cut.
and then it hard cuts to something else.
Yeah.
But they just have it's like, I don't think that's how that line was intended to be delivered, and like almost every line they have, it's like, I don't think that's how that was really supposed to be said. Like,
Yeah, probably not.
because they have a couple too, like when they drive off in their car at the beginning, there's another weird exit line like that. I can't remember off the top of my head how it goes, but it's equally as awkward.
Yeah, I can't remember either, but it was terrible.
Yeah, so like Joss Whedon dialogue that's not directed by him is just really awkward and kind of, in a way, kind of speaks to like how good it is.
Yeah, kind of.
Sort of. I mean, like ideally, you'd be able to put it in anyone's hands and they'd be able to deliver. But I think it's kind of like
Written with specific intention.
yeah, and at the time was probably way different than anything else that was out there.
Yeah, I think
You know,
so.
so it was kind of like new and fresh, and people didn't really know how to like wrap their tongue around it in
Yeah.
a way.
Speaking of out there and new and fresh, man, did I love the 90s dialogue.
Yeah,
Like, oh, I wrote down some of my faves.
hit me.
When Buffy sees a jacket she likes, it's described as so lush,
Mm-hmm.
which is fantastic. Hilary Swank gives us the classic "That's so 5 minutes ago,"
Nice. Yeah.
which is hilarious. We get a couple. What's your damage? Which I haven't heard. I have not heard in ages. And then one that I had never heard but wrote it down because it really caught me is that Buffy uses the insult "sconehead."
Sconehead.
Yes, I do not know how to take this insult.
It should be pronounced sconehead.
You think sconehead?
No.
Sconehead's faster to say, but sconehead seems more pointed, you know?
Sconehead. Yeah.
Yeah. And then aside from that, there were just some absolute golden lines. Like Luke Perry's character, Pike.
Pike.
Character Pike.
Pike's not a name, it's a fish.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a good line. But then his best friend gets turned into a vampire. He was drunk and didn't see it coming.
Yeah. His best friend played by David Arquette.
Yes.
Which and he actually, you know what? He's really good too.
Pretty funny.
He's one of the other ones that kind of knows what movie he's in.
Yeah, and he like wakes up Pike by knocking on his window, and Pike's all like hungover and just woke up and is like, "What are you doing, man?" And then eventually it's revealed that he's actually like several stories up or something, and
Yeah.
his friend's just floating in front of his
Yeah,
window.
he's trying to
'cause-
get him to invite him in. He's like, "Come on, man, invite me in." You know,
Oh, right,
invite
yeah,
me in,"
'cause he's a
'cause he
vampire.
gets turned into a vampire.
Yeah, and his response is, "You're floating, man. Get away from here."
Can we talk about the scene, like 2 scenes before that though, where he gets turned into a vampire?
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's super. This is one of these things where it's like it was clearly directed by someone who had never seen a movie, but had been
let alone a vampire movie.
told about movies and just kind of looked at what was on the script and was like, "Oh, okay, I'll just do all of this." So they're drunk. They're walking through the hills in LA somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
They sit down on some rocks to have a drink, which is like by a cliff. Right, there's a big drop off behind them. They see Donald. It cuts to Donald Sutherland's car driving, and then it cuts back to them, and Luke Perry kind of like takes a sip, and he's like, "Oh, I'm drunk," and passes out. Then the like main vampire henchman floats up behind David Arquette, grabs him and bites him, and pulls him off the cliff.
Oh, but
And-
also like he floats up and goes
for like a long time.
for a
Yeah.
few seconds, to which there is no response.
Yeah. So he does that, pulls him off the cliff, and immediately, like as he's being pulled off the cliff, Donald Sutherland's car drives up, and he just kind of like gets out and is like, "Hey, you should, not be here," and helps Luke Perry into his car and like gives him a ride home. And I'm like, okay, I can see how this would be written in the script, like it's just, action. Like they sit down on the thing, cut to Donald Sutherland's car driving, cut back to Luke Perry takes a drink and passes out. Then vampire comes up. It's all like very like, and whoever is directing this goes like, okay, so that has to happen, and then
then this
immediately after, which is
happens.
like there's no sense of
Pacing.
or like it's yeah.
It's wretched. Oh my gosh.
It is mind-boggling actually.
But it's so
Kind of like
funny.
how weird and awkward the pacing
Yeah.
and like complete lack of direction there is in this movie.
Yeah, it's
That
wonderfully
main
atrocious.
vampire henchman,
Yes, the right hand vampire.
yeah, who we were like, man, that guy looks familiar. Like, who
So
is he?
familiar, and
I
he
was like, is that Edward Norton? No, it's not Edward Norton.
he had a gaunt
Super weird.
face, and
Yeah.
he had what's that facial hair called? Where it's like around the mouth.
A goatee.
Yeah, I don't know why I forgot that, but he's got a
He's got a goatee.
pretty thick goatee, yeah,
Yeah, and we're just like, what? Who
and
is
long
this
hair.
guy? And we looked it up, and it's Paul Rubens. Pee Wee Herman
I-
plays like a goth 90s vampire
Yup. And
who is like, oh, it's just so strange.
yeah,
And like why that choice was ever made. Like his
Mhm.
death scene
doesn't make any
goes
sense.
on forever.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, like in a way where it's just like, why does he like where it's like so hammed up, right? Because he's kind of like, ugh, and he falls out of frame, and then he just pops back up. It's like, ah, like 2 seconds later.
Yeah, and he does like a little bit of a Ace Ventura thing where he's like, oh,
Yeah, and then he's like on the ground. He's kind of like kicking the wall a few times, like, oh, just like.
yeah, it's like, oh, your Pee Wee's showing.
Yeah, no kidding. And and then like after the credits, it like cuts back to him still dying
It
at the very end
does not make sense.
before he died. And it's like,
why was
that
he
is such-
even a character in this movie?
I don't know.
like.
It's such a weird comedic choice to like happen in this movie where nothing like that had ever happened before then. Oh, it was so strange. But then like it did have one of the best action movie one-liners right before he gets killed. Because earlier in the movie he's on Luke Perry's van and somehow gets his arm cut off.
He punches his fist down through the roof of the van to grab him and try to make him crash. I
Right,
think.
and then he hits a branch.
But then yeah, a branch hits him in the face, and we just get a shot of Luke Perry inside the car, and the hand that he's holding is just like a mannequin hand, and it just falls.
Yeah.
Just clean cut severs from vampire Pee Wee Herman's body.
Yeah. And so then Buffy's got him, like up against a wall, and she's got holding a stake to him, and he's like, we can do anything. And she's
Yeah,
like,
we're
oh,
immortal.
oh yeah, we're immortal. We can do anything. And she's like, oh yeah, clap.
and then
And then she
Yeah.
stakes him.
and then his face kind of like sinks for a moment, and then
Yeah. Oh, that was legitimately so good.
great
Yeah.
line.
And Luke Perry, by the way, rest in peace,
Mm.
is
Mhm.
so good in this movie.
Yeah.
So good. Like just comedy gold.
He does a great job.
Legitimately, he was my favorite part of the movie. 100%. Like his performance was just on point. Every bit of it was just fantastic.
Yeah.
Clearly kind of an inspiration for Spike later on.
Especially when he shows up at the dance in the gym for that last scene, and he has his
Yeah.
hair slicked back.
He has his hair slicked back, he's got the leather jacket on. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
I can see where this goes.
I can see what's happening.
That being said, so Donald Sutherland is also, he's the Watcher and he's great, but he's not. Like I started calling him OG because I can never remember his name, so I was like whenever I was thinking about him, I was like, I was OG, Original Giles,
Oh, Original Giles.
because but he's not as good as actual Giles.
Oh no, actual Giles is to me the most memorable part of that show. For the episodes I've seen, I'm just like,
Oh yeah,
Giles is
the episode where he
fantastic.
turns into a demon.
Oh, I have not seen that one.
I think it's in season 4. He turns into a demon somehow, and the only person that can understand him is Spike. And so him
What?
and Spike have to team up
That sounds amazing. I love that pairing.
because everyone else just hears him speaking this like demon language, and he's like, but he's like, oh, Xander, help me! I've been turned into a demon, but then it's like, and so then like he like shows up at Spike's place, and he's like, oh my god, you can understand me? He's like, so I am speaking. He's like, no, you're actually speaking, feral demon. I happen to speak feral demon. And then, yeah,
Oh,
it's
man.
it's such a good, like, awkward buddy cop kind of movie.
Perfect.
Um,
Yeah. It's that kind of like campy humor in the face of like death that really is the tone, right?
yeah, that's like the Joss Whedon specialty, I think.
Yeah.
Like taking a dire situation and just trying to undercut it, which is actually kind of one of my like, I think he overdid it a little bit.
In general or in Buffy the
Uh,
Vampire Slayer?
No, not in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'm more so. I think of it when I rewatch like the 2 Avengers movies that he did. Like everyone has like that last line. Like, Coulson shoots Loki with the thing, and he's like, "Oh, so that's what it does." And it's like that's not actually that funny of a joke, but it's like you just had to put that line in there, right?
Yeah, I guess the style works a lot better for silly dumb movies like this than
Yeah.
it does for like blockbuster action movies.
Oh no, like, don't get me wrong. Those 2 Avengers movies he did are the best Avengers movies still. No offense to Infinity War, it's great, but if anyone's been watching the Patrick Willems video essay series about the Marvel movies, I'll move on quick.
No, that's cool. Go for it.
Joss Whedon, this is something he brings up, and I didn't really realize it until it was pointed out to me, but like it actually, like, it's one of these things that I kind of knew, but like couldn't really form it. But like he knows how to shoot a superhero movie the way no one else that has directed a Marvel movie knows how to shoot a superhero movie. Like every single image is especially in like the end battles, are composed like comic book pages.
Oh,
Like he's even
that
kind
would
of
be the great idea.
yeah, like he's even figured out how to do like the cinematic equivalent of like a 2-page like splash page. Like if you watch like the end of Age of Ultron, there's a scene where they're fighting all the robots in the church, and it's just like circling around them, and it's this like slow motion shot of them like, fighting all these different robots, and like each character kind of gets their own awesome moment to like smash a couple of robots, and it's just like one continuous like super smooth shot.
And that's like the splash page.
And then you watch like the Russo brothers, and it's like,
Cutting between them. And
2 groups of flatly lit people running at each other at an airport parking lot in boring lighting against gray cement in like a flat shot. And it's like, well, what did you direct before this? Oh, right. Community. You went from directing Community to directing this.
It's a pretty big jump.
I like Community a lot, but I wouldn't say it's like, doesn't take the most visual flair to direct Community.
Well, no, not so much.
So, yeah. Anyways, Joss
Ugh.
Whedon's great. He should have directed this movie.
Yes.
Are there other movies where Joss Whedon's directed or written? There has to be. I know there is one. Alien Resurrection. Alien Resurrection was written by Joss Whedon.
Oh, really?
And not directed by him. Yeah.
Oh.
But it was also directed by a crazy Frenchman, so it kind of,
Not that all Frenchmen are crazy.
Has no, crazy in the best way.
But yeah.
Like Jean-Pierre Jeunet is top.
That's his name, right?
Top choice. Like he directed Amélie, which is probably what he's best known for. But then like you look at some of his other movies, like he directed this movie called City of the Lost Children, and another movie called Delicatessen, which is about like an apartment building that's like all cannibals live there.
All right.
It's really good. Check out Delicatessen. Yeah, so it was directed by someone who had a very, very distinct style, as opposed to the person who directed this, which had zero style.
No style whatsoever.
Had heard of movies. but had never actually seen a movie.
That scene where
What is this person's name?
Pee Wee Herman loses his arm, and then Luke Perry crashes the car, and then he gets out, and then Pee Wee Herman's just standing there with the arm missing, and like that sleeve missing as well, and it's just like, you ruined my new jacket, and then his henchmen are beside him, and he's like, kill him a lot,
Yeah.
and then they have a very uneventful, awkward fight scene where Buffy just comes in and kills them all really quickly.
So the person who directed this was Fran Rubel-Kuzui.
Kazooie.
This was the last movie he directed. He? She? Fran. She.
Fran is a
She.
girl's name. Yeah.
No. Fran Kranz is a guy.
Don't know who that is.
He was in Dollhouse and Cabin in the Woods. He was a stoner in Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Anyways,
Well, my
She, directed by a woman. Good job. Female empowerment. She did a bad job, though, so that sucks for her. But I guess
Still, like,
she got to be...
that's kind of cool that
Yeah.
this 92 Buffy movie, they did get a female director for.
Yeah. And she got to be an executive producer on the TV show.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
cool.
executive producer might not mean she did a whole lot, but she probably got
Okay.
paid. So
Rock on.
thumbs up for getting paid. All about that. Yeah, this was the last movie she directed, so it's kind of too bad.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have
Some
seen
people
her.
are not meant to direct.
That's true. Those that can't do produce. So
I guess.
there you go. But I would have liked to see her learn from her mistakes and continue to hone her craft.
That's fair.
Maybe direct a couple episodes of the show or something like that, right? That would have been good.
Or at least she executive produced.
Yeah, but so the plot of the movie is like pretty standard fare when you think about it.
Yeah, Buffy's the chosen one. There's an
Yeah.
evil vampire who wants her.
Yeah.
And then she
In like a
kills him.
sexual way, but he also maybe he wants to kill her, but he wants to maybe he wants to turn her into a vampire and love her forever.
Yeah, I
Was
think
that what
I
was
think
going
that's why
on?
Pee Wee was all like, "We're immortal, we can do anything." I think he was trying to convince her, but
Oh yeah,
that,
because
that wasn't very explicit.
he was making her have weird sex dreams about him, kind of.
Sort of. There
Sort
wasn't
of.
any sex.
No,
there was like
well,
some
no, but-
light cuddling.
Yeah, but that's weird.
No, it was weird. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially since the light cuddling was him like man-spreading on her bed.
Yes.
And then her going and like sleeping on him, like on his chest, like it was like a pillow, but like not really knowing that he's there.
Yeah.
It was super
That's
strange.
not plutonic.
No, and it was and the main vampire is played by Rutger Hauer with a blonde mustache.
Which looks so weird. It's very distracting.
And he's introduced in the first time you see any bit of him, it's just his gloved hand coming out of a coffin, which
Yes.
is white with glowing neon red lining on the inside and
Yes.
like smoke coming out of it.
Beautiful choice.
It's fucking amazing. And his hand comes out of it and Pee Wee Herman kisses his hand. And then the full reveal of him is him floating up in this like underground cathedral thing where he's living, and he has like his hands crossed over his face with a cape, and he just goes like whoosh and like does the full like vampire like
Yeah.
reveal, because he's got like sticks.
He's clearly holding sticks that are inside the ends of his cape.
that are
yeah.
inside the ends of his cape to like make
It's so
like
bad.
form like the bat wings kind of look.
It's so bad.
Oh man, it was something. It was really something.
Oh boy, yeah.
But again, like just a ridiculous amount of like famous and like objectively pretty talented people are in this movie.
Yeah, like for the amount that it sucked,
Like
the
'kay.
names were crazy.
Hilary Swank, Oscar winner. Donald Sutherland, pretty sure Oscar winner. Rutger Hauer, I don't know, but like fuck, dude, he was in Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Luke Perry, pretty great. I don't really know if Kristy Swanson did anything after this. There's even
Wasn't she in? Was this before or after Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Wasn't she a character in Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
She in Ferris Bueller's Day Off? This would have
I
been
mean,
after.
it wasn't a major part or anything.
This would have been
but-
after
Oh, okay.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I'll just pull up her IMDb. Oh yeah, she was Simone. Doesn't mean anything to me. There's even a cameo from 2-time Academy Award winner Ben Affleck.
Such a short, flat cameo.
Yeah, he plays a basketball player.
Yeah, who like has one line and
Yeah.
his face does nothing.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Why was he
Just ridiculous.
was so weird.
Yeah, I mean, he got a part. He probably got paid, $300 for the day or whatever, and
Yeah.
got a free muffin. Craft
Probably.
services, right? And yeah, and now this is like even before like Mallrats,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Huh.
yeah, this is like young baby face Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's good. Yeah. So then, like, they have a big fight in the gym, and she kills him, Rutger Hauer, like really unceremoniously.
Yeah,
And
it's not
actually, one of
there's
the
no payoff.
no. Well, the humor payoff is the principal, played by the guy from Office Space, the guy who plays Milton.
Yeah.
And more recently, Charles Boyle's dad on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
Go-
Lynn Boyle?
Lynn Boyle.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going around handing out detention slips to all the dead vampires.
Yeah. They were seniors at the school turned vampires and
Yeah.
they're all very, very dead. And he's just throwing detention slips on their corpses.
So good. So good.
What?
I don't know why. He is very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and then, Buffy and Pike ride off on his motorbike into the sunset.
Yep.
So
And that's it.
that's it.
Huge lack of payoff. Pretty terrible editing.
Yeah. You can
Pretty damn funny.
you can tell why Joss Whedon felt compelled to go back and revisit this.
Yeah.
And
Clearly the idea had more potential than this
Yeah.
movie showed.
really try to do it justice. 'Cause yeah, we got a great show out of it. So
Pretty long running too.
yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. So that's a wrap on that. How do we feel about this one?
I'm feeling like this was pretty craptacular.
I agree. Terrible. Like I can't say that it's one big pile of shit.
No.
Because it's not.
But it's also definitely not a good movie.
No, and that's probably why it has a 33 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, that's nice and low. Here
Yeah.
you go.
Is it too low?
Ooh, no.
No? Okay, all right.
No, this was a bad movie. It was.
Yeah.
Like the parts were that were the best and the funniest were just the horribly delivered lines or the
Yeah.
really awkward cuts or the completely unceremonious deaths. I mean, like aside from
Yeah.
Lobos, the Lord of the Vampires, the Watcher Merrick, his death is also like he runs up holding a pike when Lobos meets Buffy for the first time, and he's like, "No, don't kill her!" And he just like takes his hand holding
Yeah.
the what's that thing called? Damn it. The thing when you kill vampires.
Stake?
Stake. Bingo. Takes his hand holding the stake and just turns it around and puts it in his own chest. And that's Merrick's dead.
Yeah. But like he'll be back? Because at one point he says that he's like lived a
Lives
1,000
lives. Yeah, he's like
and
reincarnates. It's very unclear.
he reincarnates every time it's time to train the next Slayer or something like that.
Something
Yeah,
like that. But anyway,
I don't know.
very dumb movie, but man, it was a fun watch.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
makes the list. That's the sweet spot we're looking for.
Definitely. So that's that's Buffy the Vampire Slayer in a nutshell right there.
Happy International Women's Day.
Yeah. I'd say watch it. Get some of your friends together and watch it.
Yeah.
It'll be a fun time. All right, so that's it for the show. If you like this show, please give us a review on iTunes. A 5-star review goes a long way to helping us become more visible. Leave a comment on there as well if you want. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Gmail at RetroCrapPod. Email us in a question if you want, or a movie recommendation. Tweet those to us. Those are always good. If you like us and you want to support the show with sweet cash,
$1 bill.
you can do that on
Singular.
Patreon. Yeah, for like $1.
Yeah.
You get all the episodes early. And we actually just put up a bonus episode
That we did.
which we recorded. That was supposed to be the episode that went out this month, but for certain reasons, we decided not to. And if you want to find out what those reasons are, you gotta pay
$1.
You gotta
Right,
pay
yeah.
$1. Or maybe that one's $3.
Oh, well, you'll find out on our Patreon page.
Yeah, I think bonus content is $3.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, a month. So still, it's like cheaper than some cups of coffee.
Most cups of coffee. Actually.
Yeah. Cheaper than a good cup of coffee.
Oh, yeah.
So you can find it on Patreon. It's on a movie called The Day That Time
Ended.
Ended.
Yeah.
Daytime ended.
Yeah, which is...
There's a space.
Yeah.
The daytime ended. Yeah. It's called Nighttime.
Yeah. And we were so brain dead that I didn't even make that joke during the podcast.
Yeah, no, that was originally your
yeah,
joke.
fuck.
I'm not gonna steal
No, it's all
credit
good.
for it,
It's
yeah.
still funny.
Still good.
The daytime ended.
Yoink. Where am I?
We're done.
We're done. That's it. I said all the things, right? Oh, the show is available on iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, YouTube, Spotify. Basically anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can listen to us, and I assume you know that because you're listening to us, but I don't know why I keep telling you that, but every podcast I listen to says this at the end of it, and I'm like, I fucking know I'm listening to your show right now, but I also feel like I should do it at the end of our show. I don't know, it's very weird.
Well, just you do you.
I'm glad I worked through that with you guys.
We're here for you.
Thanks, man. So yeah, that just about does it.
Yeah, just a boot,
And we'll be back next month with a film review. So until next time,
Intriguing.
keep watching crap.
Please. You need to delete this.
One of my coworkers had "daddy" tattooed on her leg.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I feel like
She lost a bet.
Oh, that's sad. That's a pet tattoo.
Yeah.
Sucks to be her.
Yeah.
I feel like one
Not
day,
one of my current coworkers, I should say.
Yes. One day I will probably have children, and if any of them call me daddy, I will rebuke them.
What would you rather be called?
I would much rather be called father than
Father.
than be called daddy. Honestly,
Papa.
Papa, I'm 100% on board with.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I would even rather be called Fati, which is German for daddy, but sounds like fatty, and that's better than daddy.
What if you were called Fatty Daddy?
Still better than just daddy, honestly. And I don't know, I'd probably put on weight if I had kids. Let's be real.
Oh, dude, everyone will.
Everyone put on weight when I have kids.
That's why I got to get in shape now.
So you can put it back on.
So that when you have kids, I won't put on more weight. I'll just kind of get back to where I am now.
Yeah, you got to break even.
Yeah. All right.